Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where it was on this week in 1974 that one of the finest songs ever written, Annie's song, struck gold. Now, John Denver is without a doubt one of the finest singer-songwriters ever, and he came about in the decade where singer-songwriters were really flourishing as never before. Previous to that, a lot of great singers were writing songs written by others, whether from the American Songbook or elsewhere, the Great American Songbook or elsewhere. But John Denver came about at a time when people like Jim Croce and Joni Mitchell and James Taylor and Carole King, who used to write songs for others, became stars in their own right. And there was something about John Denver that was so soothing, yet at the same time so profound. And there was always a melancholy in some of his songs, particularly Annie's song. It was not just in the writing itself, but it was in his phrasing, in his delivery, maybe one could even say in the timbre of his voice. And John Denver proved that, unlike what some critics say, you can be wholesome, as all of his songs were, and still be profound. So, one thing interesting about his life, he got it from both sides. The ride on, let it all hang out, progressive critics would have you think that you need to sort of stick two fingers up in the air and shake your fist in order to be profound. John Denver proved that profundity comes in many guises, including wholesome songs that appealed then, and I would say still appeal now to people of all ages, all backgrounds, men and women alike. But he was also someone who took aim at the critics on the other side who want to censor anything edgy and out there and provocative, because he was one of the three musicians, along with Dee Snider of Twisted Sister and Frank Zappa, who testified before the Senate in 1985 opposing music censorship. He talked about it as a matter of principle and also as a matter of what happened to him when some radio stations refused to play Rocky Mountain High because, not knowing that John Denver's songs were always wholesome, they assumed he was singing about getting high as opposed to being high in the Rocky Mountains. Um so he understood music and its importance, and that it's important for the artist to always have the freedom to express. And he used that freedom to do things exactly the way he wanted to, and brought a smile to so many faces right up until his unfortunate, far too young death in a horrific plane crash. But John Denver's legacy will outlast, I think, even some of the best singer-songwriters. He's definitely in that top tier. And for many, Annie's song is what the first thing is was the first thing they heard. And that's really what did it for so many. It's a great song. As always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.